Okay, so within this video what we're going to do is we're going to go through Learning Outcome 4, which is part of the OCR Level 3 IT. So the next one's going to be this. So we're going to do 4.1 up to 4.7, and it's going to have communication skills, communication technologies, personal attributes, ready for work, job roles, professional bodies, industry certification. So this one says, so communication skills, and there's loads of different communication skills that you will use without actually realising it. And the top 4 skills that you need for communication is as follows: interpersonal skills, verbal communication, question and techniques, written communication. Okay, so these are the 4 different things that you will need to work in IT. So interpersonal skills. These are like face-to-face communication skills. So in other words, these are stuff like, say, body language. This is stuff like, you know, how you look at somebody, your facial expressions, all these kind of things. And these can actually give off a lot of different sort of signals, whether these are positive or negative. Okay. Now, obviously, this will show you or show the employer whether you are interested or disinterested. If you are not looking eye to eye, then that would mean maybe that you are not connected with the actual task or the company or themselves, and then that way that might be deemed as being rude or basically quite negative. Another thing would be body language. So obviously, if you are slouched on your chair, you are not attentive, then you are more likely than not to either get the job, or even you might even get spoken to in work for being disinterested. The next one is verbal skills. So these are using effective and appropriate language in certain situations. So obviously there is, if you are going to be talking to someone who hasn't got a clue about computers, you are not really going to be using technical language. Okay, you will use English language that is going to be easy for the person to understand. This will then give the other person the sort of confidence to sort of talk back and to understand what the topics are. The next one, which is questioning techniques. So these questioning techniques, there's 2 different types. There is open questions and there's closed questions. So for instance, it's like, how are you today, is an open question, and that way then they can ask anything they want. Another one, which is a closed question, so that is like, would you like me to fix your computer? And that would be either a yes or a no. And this will actually give you as an IT technician or you as an IT person a lot more specific answers in terms of how to help them. Now, one thing that you do need to do is you need to try and avoid leading questions. So for instance, do you think this is good? Yes. So then all of a sudden then they're going to say, oh yeah, it is. Okay, so you need to be as open or closed as you can in terms of what the response you want. The next one, which is written communication. Now, we will use different types of communication, both formal and informal communication. So the first one for formal will be, say, a formal document. That could be a policy or a letter out to all staff. Or an example of an informal piece of communication would be a text or an email conversation between friends. Okay, so it will be very informal. You might use slang in the informal way, whereas the formal way you would use a well-worded English compared to obviously your informal communication. The next one, which is barriers. So there might be certain barriers to communication, whether being sent or received. The first one would be noise. So for instance, background noise, or someone actually having say noise in the head, maybe about the head might be sort of somewhere else. They might have stuff going on in their own personal life. That might actually mean that they aren't engaging really with the topics or whatever that they're meant to be doing. The next one is language. Okay, so language there, it says this can be due to inappropriate use of complex or technical terminology. So if you were to go in and start talking about servers with people who might not know what a server is, then you're not really going to have an effective communication with that person. Okay. And the last one there it says is physical barriers. So obviously if there's physical barriers such as deafness, where you actually need to use sign language or clear enunciation. The word enunciation basically means when you are talking, you need to over exaggerate your mouth so they understand exactly what you are saying. Okay, so communication technologies. This is stuff like presentation software, word processing, emails, web, blog, vlog, or instant messaging. So I'm just gonna skim through these. Not really gonna talk that much over these. Presentation software. Having the ability to show information to certain clients, to management, all them kind of things. In your exam, please do not say PowerPoint. Just say presentation software. Word processing. This might be having something like this, which might be like a CV, for instance. And you can use Word as a word processing document. Emails. These allow us to send emails, links, pictures, videos across the email to various people across the world and across internal organisations. Web. So this might be basically web is a system where internet servers allow you to view web pages, and these web pages are formatted documents. So depending on the layout, you'll have obviously the banner at the top, you'll have all the hyperlinks and all that kind of stuff, so you can hyperlink through different categories on that website. Okay, blog and vlog. Basically a blog is a shortened term for word for web log, basically. Now, this web log, what it will do is this will give people the chance to review things. So for instance, people might review a movie or might review a product that they might have bought. So other people can read them before they make a choice on whether or not they want to use that or not. A vlog. So a vlog is basically something that you might do. So normally is a video to show a review or explaining something. There's loads of vlogs online regarding the best aeroplane seats and all them kind of things. They're quite interesting. That's the difference between a vlog and a blog. Instant messaging. I'm sure we've all used these. This is stuff like WhatsApps. This is stuff like Facebook, all them kind of things. And you can instant message people using informal language between friends and family. Okay, so personal attributes. Okay, so these are some of the personal attributes that you need to work in IT. There's hard working, problem solver, teamwork, organisational skills, good communication, leadership. I just realised the leadership twice in there. Flexibility, motivation, respect, dependability, and obviously determination as well. All these will turn you into a very good worker in IT. Okay, so if you're ready for work, so you need to be looking at the dress code. And the dress code is going to be dependent on what the job is. So for instance, if you need to be in a shirt and tie, you need to make sure you turn up in a suit. But also alternatively, if it's just jeans and a t-shirt, then you can wear that as well. But you need to research that and make sure that all employees are appropriately dressed for that specific situation. The next one, presentation. So make sure that you are clean, you've got good personal hygiene, and also make sure that you are well groomed. The last one on this is attitude. So you need to make sure you've got a can-do attitude. So having a can-do attitude basically gives you or enables you to have a positive attitude on everything that happens in the workplace. Here's some job roles with some qualifications that's needed, and also the description of the job, and also some attributes that will be needed as well. Okay, professional bodies. These anybody can claim to be an IT specialist, but obviously there is no actual requirement to become like registered or whatever in IT. This is why they use professional bodies. Okay, so these basically raise the awareness of people who might do these certain qualifications. These set standards of behaviour. So what these will do is make sure that everyone knows exactly what to do in certain situations. These will support specific members. These will also develop skills, so in other words they will improve their knowledge. There will be some job opportunities through there, opportunities to network, and also to access to certain materials as well, such as journals and publications. There's some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so examples of industry standard certification. Here is one, and their certificate name is Apple Care Mac Technician. So that's obviously someone who might want to be working around Macs all the time. The cost per exam is $20. And then obviously then when you go into a job, you will then have that underneath your belt, so you can say, oh yeah, I have worked with Macs.